Hello, everyone. My name is Annette Anthony. I'm the Director of Corporate Engagement for EXIT Realty Corp International, and I am so excited to be here today. And we've got a very special guest, Nick Libert with EXIT Strategy Realty. Good morning, Nick. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. How are you doing, Annette?
I'm doing so good. You know, anytime that I can do a presentation with you, I already know it's going to be a great day. We're thrilled to have you today.
Well, I'm excited to be here, excited to show off some of the amazing exit tools and hopefully help people use them to the max.
Absolutely. So today's conversation is about digital strategies because we know that consumers are on the go always, and what they carry with them within arm's reach is their mobile devices. So we're going to have a conversation about how you can flex your mobile game when it comes to Exit's technology so that you can serve more people. Now, what I want to do is I planned on talking about, reading through your bio, Nick, but what I believe is going to be very impactful for the audience is I want them to hear from you about things in your career, milestones in your career, Nick, that you'd like to recall that have been special for you. I'd love for you to share, like, what are some moments in your real estate career that have just changed the trajectory that you're pretty proud of?
Oh man, well, there's been some highs and lows for sure over the last 25 years. I started in real estate while I was in college, put myself through college and law school doing it. Thought that I wanted to be a lawyer, but realized that I was really enjoying real estate and you could make a great living at it some years. And so I got into the business thinking, like a lot of other people did, that the brand was going to do everything for me. And I very quickly realized that you have to be the person that actually goes out and generates your business, that your database is your gold mine, but that a really great company can help you with that with tools, training, technology, and support. So it took me almost a decade to find EXIT Realty. So I came to EXIT Realty on my 30th birthday, and one of the most impactful things about that change to EXIT was that I finally had some amazing technology. And I think a lot of people out there talk about the residual bonus system, which obviously is a huge part of why we all love EXIT. I'm at my home office today. This home was bought with EXIT Realty residuals. The car I drive was bought with EXIT Realty residuals. I'm very passionate about that part of the business and that part of the ability to have multiple income streams. But nobody had ever really sat me down and said, your database is your gold mine, until some of the EXIT trainers. And it was actually Annette, before she was even at EXIT, that really taught me how to use a database efficiently. And so having my first CRM was amazing. And that was started at EXIT. I started to become more of a relationship-based agent than a transactional agent. My repeat clients started to come back more and more, send me more referrals. And then I got more into the listing game. I was an REO listing agent. I worked with asset management companies. So during the market crash, when a lot of other people were kind of putting their head in the sand and were very negative, I went out there full force and I said, I'm going to get listings. I'm going to get as many asset management contracts as I can. And how I differentiated myself was, even back then, we had the QR codes and some other really cool exit marketing. Back then it was e-listings. Now everything comes right through the expert marketing suite. And all of a sudden these asset management companies are going, you're really working these listings. We want to give you more. And so that saved my career. Coming to EXIT saved my career. Finally getting a database put together saved my career. So I think I've had a lot of saving my career from other people. So I'd like to give back a little bit. And the last couple of years, what has just fascinated me about this company is, as it's grown, how the technology has gotten better and better. The digital buyer guides, the digital seller guides, and now the text codes, the way the expert marketing suite does so much for you. And now the digital business cards, the My Smart Sign technology. I'm getting more business, I'm retaining more clients, I'm selling my listings quicker, I'm getting more listings. And it's all through things that we all have as part of our EXIT toolkit. But what I've noticed is a lot of agents, even in my office, we're not quite using things to the max. And I don't have all the tools in the world. I don't have all the knowledge in the world. But if you give me something, I'm going to work that 100%. I'm going to just burn it out, probably burn out everybody around me. I think I've burned out the entire tech team at EXIT Corporate the last but they've been so amazing to me to listen to my ideas and your ideas and really continue to build the product out. And we have some things that nobody else has. And that's something that just surprises me, is when I hear other people talk about exit and try to attract people to exit, they focus on the residuals. And yes, it's an important part. It helped a lot of us, buy our homes, save a home, and do some really powerful things in our lives and with our families. But the technology here is so amazing. And I've been speaking to some regions and some offices about that. And so I'm really excited today to just share what is helping me in my business, what's helping some of our agents, and also how you can make your business better for the consumer and better for your own clients and better for yourself, easier. So working smarter, not always harder, and showing off these tools so you attract more clients and also potentially attract more agents to this amazing company.
So good. We consider you an authority when it comes to our exit technology, Nick, because you don't just talk about it. You're using it regularly. You're teaching it regularly. You've been on our convention stage. You've been in our owner calls. You've been in so many of our trainings. You give back, and even in your region. Now, your regional owner, Bill Pankinen, we connected. He knew that you were doing this very special webinar for us. So he sent me a little message that I want to make sure that you understand, and especially for the audience to know that the knowledge that you're about to receive, okay, what does that mean for you and your business? So let me share with you a little bit. And I know you didn't know I was doing this, Nick, which I love. So this is what Bill had to say. And this was from an event that you did for the EXIT Realty Upper Midwest Broker Retreat. Like, you shared your wisdom with other owners, which is an anomaly. I mean, I know from other brands that they don't typically share, but we do, and you did. So I'm going to tell you what Bill had to say after that time that you spent and you shared your knowledge with the owners. After the event, he said the sentiment after Nick gave his presentation, jaw-dropping. I heard mostly, I never knew EXIT had this. He did such an awesome job. The room was silent. Everyone was glued to his presentation, and most were taking notes as fast as they could. Nick just uses what EXIT offers to its fullest extent and then shares small snippets so that they can comprehend it on a daily basis with his agents who really want to engage and get better at what they do. That's leadership. That's what Bill had to say about you, Nick. And I'm just really excited for the rest of this, for all of our attendees that are listening in today and watching. This is live. So a couple things. If you have questions, you have an opportunity to ask questions. So as Nick is talking, I want to make sure that each of you, has the ability of sharing your questions. We do have a question answer segment that we'll go through. So if you have something specific that you'd like to ask, we would love to have Nick, share his response. I've got a whole list of things that we want to make sure that you don't miss on an opportunity of walking away learning today. Because, if you think you know everything of our exit tools and resources, I'm here to tell you, you don't. Because Nick is going to share so many great things that you can elevate your use and even challenge you to do things that you never even realize that you can do with our exit technology. So I'm going to share with you some of the tech that we're going to cover today. First of all, the mobile business card. We're going to get to that in just a second, but Nick is going to share some great ways that he's leveraging his mobile business card that are truly unique. We're also going to talk about the My Smart Sign technology and the EXIT Realty Connect app. Also, what we're going to do, and we didn't actually plan it, but before we got started, you mentioned about the text code marketing panel for the owners. Nick, definitely want to share that with them. So I penciled in that comment. And then, of course, the expert marketing suite. We're going to have some time to discuss digital presentations. You guys, Nick is killing it with the digital presentations. And of course, we're going to have time for some follow-up. And Nick is going to explain the leads that he's generating, because he's generating a lot of leads. What are his fundamentals, his must-haves, his non-negotiables when it comes to following up? And I promise you'll have some time that you can ask the expert. So what I'm going to do right now, Nick, is we're just going to have a conversation, you and I, with the audience, and we're going to focus on the mobile business card. Now, what I'm going to do, Nick, as we have this conversation, I'm going to go ahead and give you permission, right, to showcase your screen. So if you haven't already logged in to the Resource Center, go ahead and do that. And once you're into the resource center, let me know that you're good and ready to go. And I'll have you talk about the mobile business card, specifically in the dashboard and setting up your mobile business card.
I'm ready.
You're ready? Okay, great. So I'm going to make you the presenter. Go for it. We'll give that a second.
All right. Can you guys see my screen?
I love it. Looks good.
All right. So, guys, one of the things that I absolutely love about, and by the way, can you still see me too?
I can. Yeah, you're good.
Things that I absolutely love about the mobile business card is it is actually adjustable. And this goes back to the concept of I'm going to use the tools to the max. But if you're not giving the business card out, then it doesn't really matter that it's great. So what I've done is I have plastered it all over everywhere, all over my social media. So if you go on, for example, my LinkedIn, it's right at the top. You can text Libert to 85377 right now. And it's on all my social media have cover pages. You can do those in Canva, everywhere. Every time I have a post that's not property specific, I will use that mobile business card. But one of the things I wanted to show you guys right now is you can adjust that mobile business card to anything you want to do. So if you go into the resource center and you go into under your own name, my mobile business card, you've got some options there. And this I played around with for quite a bit to make sure that I wasn't breaking the technology, which would be bad. So number one, if you haven't picked your digital business card out yet, pick it something easy, something fun. I did my last name because all my marketing has always been my website, my last name in it. It was just easy to remember for me. And then I've wrapped some other stuff around it. But once you've got it, don't, obsess over it, just run with it. And then look at this reply message. This was the big thing. So I changed it today to just say, I'm excited to get to work. Click on the My Site link for items of value. And then my mobile business card, when you click on My Site, it goes to my website, which has items of value. But sometimes you've got something specific. Maybe you're talking in front of a group, a home buyer seminar, or you've got something specifically going on that day. You can change the reply message to whatever you want. You don't have a huge amount of characters to adjust, but you do have a capability to change it. So if you had, for example, a YouTube video, and that YouTube video had a message for everyone, you can actually just put that YouTube video in right there. I want to show you what I recently did for an event that I was speaking at. So I spoke at an event recently, and let me get into my videos here and I'll show this to you, in front of YPN. So it was YPN, and then also I spoke in front of ARIA, the Asian American Realtors Association.
Libert with EXIT Realty.
And so I just did a quick hey guys, I wanted to thank you for coming today. I gave some links to some items that I've been talking about during the speech. And all I did was I clicked on share and I copied that link and I added that into my mobile business card script. So I actually had two hyperlinks. So the first one was the one that I put in here. And so I'll just do it to this for you right now. And then I would paste that. And then you could also then put beneath that, because they're still going to get your mobile business card, of course. It's going to, and you can see right there, it's adjusting live on the fly here. You could then put my digital business card and then a hyphen, and then it would still have the link to the digital business card below. So it would have your YouTube link, your video link, or a link to a landing page or anything else out there that you'd want to do, maybe a Google form, and then they're still going to get your business card. The only thing that I'll tell you about that, the reason why I changed it today, by the way, was that if you do that, it doesn't have that nice pop out of the business card. It just has two links there. So something to consider, but you've got the ability to adjust that. I really, really liked that, because sometimes you've got something to tell people that's specific for that day, and you can always change it back, and it's an instantaneous change back to whatever that message is. So play with that message, that reply message. Maybe you're doing something special that day and you want an extra item of value, an extra asset for people. Huge, huge value right there.
So Nick, let's talk a little bit about that, because a lot of our agents, they speak on local MLS boards, they're speaking in front of groups, and it is impossible to hand out your card to everybody. And what are people going to do with business cards anyway? right?
They're lose them. They're going to throw them away.
Exactly.
And,
Exactly.
oh, go ahead, Annette. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, if you go back to click on your reply message, and if you go ahead and hit save, we can save what you've done. Awesome. And then let me take back the screen for just a moment, because I'm going to walk you through on my phone how you go and check that out. So I'm going to make myself.
Go ahead and text that to yourselves and check it out right now. Text Libert to 85377 and you'll get to see that video. And by the way, those links still work from that video. So if you want to learn about some of the technology, some of the cool stuff that I'm doing, and by the way, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm always putting stuff out.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely, because you want to learn, from an expert. So what you see now is the home screen of my phone, and I'm going to go to my text messaging app, and I'm going to click on Start Chat, right? So I want to compose a brand new text message. So for those of you who are new to this technology or just not familiar, I'm going to text to the number 85377, and then Nick Libert's vanity code, just as he talked about, is Libert, Libert. Now, I love what you said, that you can make an adjustment, because I know many associates who created a text code, but then they really didn't, it really didn't resonate, the impact of what that means. So they have evolved it just like you have, but I love the consistency of your last name. So here's the response that you get. So when you text Libert to 85377, I love that you put, I'm excited to get to work. Like, that is really exciting, and people can click on, obviously they'll see the YouTube link there. So when they click on that, it's going to take them right to the YouTube page. So good. So thanks for walking them through, because I think that's such a big, opportunity for them to realize that you can do that with our technology, and how instantaneous that was.
And here's the beautiful thing about this. So I ran out of business cards at the beginning of COVID. And I'm like, well, no one wants a piece of paper from me right now anyway. Nobody can touch, we don't want to touch each other. And
right.
So what we ended up doing was I never ordered them again. And here is why. Number one, I love the concept of free 99 as a price, free. On LinkedIn, I don't use premium. I'm not paying for any extra services anywhere. But with paper, the problem is, a piece of paper, people lose it, but also you are depending on them to contact you. We need to be more proactive. This is a data game. Data builds relationships. And people are like, well, I'm a relationship builder. How can you build a relationship if you don't have contact information? So opening up your mobile business card, which, by the way, I even have my mobile business card as my screensaver on my phone. So people can scan it, but I don't even want them to scan it. I don't particularly use the QR code. I want to say, hey, text this number, which, by the way, we got.
Look at this.
So got prop. Text Libert to 85377. Simple t-shirt. You can do fun stuff like that. I've got license plate frames with that.
All kinds of goodies back there.
We got I'll show you guys more stuff later. But this stuff is everywhere. The reason why is I want to get people's cell phone number. And there are a lot of different products out there that will get people's contact information from that cell phone number, because some people are like, well, what do I do with that number? That's the genius of the mobile business card and all of our tools. You're getting their contact information. People lose paper. People forget to reach out. You have the opportunity when you meet people to get their contact information and start building the relationship. And the cell phone is the best way, because we know we like texting. We know that everyone's cell phone number is registered to them. So there's a great amount of information you can get just by getting their cell phone number, and all our tools work to do directly that. And if you've got it connected to a certain CRM that works with the EXIT tools, which we can talk about that another day, it feeds right in. But no matter what CRM you use, if you don't even have a CRM, it's all putting right into the resource center. So Annette, I think you allowed me to share my screen again.
Yep, we see your screen.
So when I go into my main screen, there's literally, these leads are pouring in. And so they're coming in so look at this right now. Thanks, guys. Here they are coming in right now, all notifications. And then I can export those to anywhere. So it doesn't matter what CRM you're using, or no CRM at all. Just text the people back and say, hey, it was great to meet you, or looking forward to working with you. How can I help you? Here's another item of value, etc. But now you've got contact information for them. Stop doing the business card paper stuff or saying, here's my stuff, and hoping, hope floats, it doesn't pay our bills. So
I love that. So we've already walked away with some incredible nuggets just in the mobile business card. Keep that vanity name simple. If you don't love it, you can change it. The reply message, that's genius, especially if you're speaking at an event. You can actually include some resources that they can take away. You know, the t-shirt, come on. When you're at, I've seen your posts, you've been running alongside, you're in Chicago, you're very active outside and you wear your shirt. I mean, it makes it too irresistible. People will text, they'll do the call to action because they see it on your shirt. License plate cover is, I'm sure you guys sit in traffic, don't you? Not that I am encouraging texting while driving, but when you're trying to fill in those micro moments or you're parked and you see a license plate cover, it's too irresistible not to. Where did you get that?
So this actually, our in-house graphic designer made them. Any local vendor can make them. These are, these were not expensive. So I'm sure you can go on the resource center and do it as well. And it just says buy, sell, and invest. It has our logo. And then it says text Libert to 85377. And you'll be shocked at literally you're parked in front of a property. It's great branding. And also just make sure that you're not driving crazy or double parked. They may text that code to tell you something. But,
not just hey, right?
And here's what I tell our agents, and I coach on this a lot. And you guys have seen me drinking from this water bottle. It's one of those smart water bottles that it's measuring actually how much you drink. If you're not tracking everything, you're slacking. That's one of my little annoying coaching things. But if you're not tracking what you're doing, I can tell that if I'm slacking myself, my mobile business card numbers are down. And that's a really cool thing now is we've got that activity report. If you're not using the My Smart Sign codes, you're missing out. And there's some really cool advantages to those, and we'll talk about those. Also, the property specific ones are incredible because it's not even a mystery what they're calling on. You know exactly what's going on. And so I can go right into the expert marketing suite and I can see the properties that I'm doing a better job on and the properties that need some love.
So good. Okay, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. And don't forget, add your vanity name for your mobile business card to your social media. Just like you saw on his cover photo on LinkedIn and also on Facebook, you guys, easy to do, Canva's free. The free version of it. And it's easy just to slap on that verbiage because people do go there. Even your profiles, people do go into the profile section to get to know you a little bit better before they get to know you. And that's a great way. I think that's brilliant. Okay, so let's talk about the My Smart Sign technology because I know that, let's go back into your dashboard, Nick, and show them the My Smart Sign information.
So this is one of those evolving things. I'm a pack rat, probably too much. I like to save one of something in an evolution over time. So I have my original business card from when I was, well, I won't say the name of the firm, but another brand way back in the day, 25 years ago. So I saved one of everything. And I've watched my signage and the technology of the company evolve. And I got to be honest with you, I missed this. This was something that I used part of the My Smart Sign technology. I didn't use all of it. And so what I got was, if people anywhere across North America, they can text your Smart Sign, which is different from your mobile business card, and they get the 10 nearest properties around them. So what I would do with this, and I have literally closed referrals all over the United States now doing this, is every time that I'm out of town. So for example, Memorial Day, July 4th weekend, I was in Michigan. If it's a holiday, even if you're at home, say, hey, if you're out and about this holiday weekend, text Look with Libert. You guys can do it right now. Text Look with Libert to 85377 and find the 10 nearest properties near you. It's going to tell you who's doing it. It's going to differentiate in the leads what type of lead it was. So it's not going to say my mobile business card. It's going to say My Smart Sign. So they're either in front of one of your properties, if we're using our signs right, or they've done it because you're talking about, hey, find the 10 nearest properties near you. I've closed deals in several different states from people going, hey, I was out of town and I was looking at these places. Can you help me? My Smart Sign comment is I have team members across North America. I used to say the US, Annette and I actually, when we were prepping for this, she's like, you have across North America. We all do. It's called Exit Realty Family, and you can find the rest of them in the Exit Realty Connect app. But I digress, as I've been known to do. So that was the first iteration of it for me, is that I missed the other beauty of it because I wasn't using it on my own. I wasn't using it myself. Always test out your technology so you understand the difference between things. So when I finally was standing in front of one of my own listings, and I'm like, I wonder what it looks like, because I used to have on all my signs, I'd have my digital business card. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I don't spend money on individual riders at this point, or individual signs with the long E199 or whatever that expert marketing suite number is on signage, because that's expensive. I have it all over my social media. But what I realized was, wait, this smart sign, my smart sign, when you have my smart sign on your signage, and Annette, can you still see me?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so guys, you see this. I changed all my signage out to include, for full property details, text look with Libert to 85377. And what happens is that they're in front of one of my properties. They're going to, number one, get the information on that property along with some other ones in the area. But it also now, Corporate did a beautiful job, the tech team did, with having want to list your property. I can help you. They click on that, you get a listing lead. They go through and there's all different kinds of cool stuff in there that looks different than the business card, because my business card's about me, right? Your business card's about you. It can include other things, but what are people standing in front of a property or wanting to look at property going to do? They want property. So I want to give them what they want, right? So now all my signs have this text look with Libert to 85377, and so they're getting the property information, but also I'm able to differentiate out who they are, and they're also getting a more specific to, all right, maybe you're looking to sell, how can I help you as well? Very property specific. Same way with just sold and under contract signs. I changed my sign. I've been doing this for a long time, but I have this number, text look with Libert to 85377 for full details and other available properties, because this is now under contract. I have it both under contract and just sold. By the way, I will sometimes ask my buyer when they close on a property, hey, can I put a just sold sign out? Because the other agents, taking their stuff away, and let it sit for a day or two, because hey, then an exit sign's there. But I'm giving them the hint that there's other stuff around, because now it's under contract. I wouldn't put that on my for sale sign. On my for sale sign, I just say, these are the big ones, for info, text look with Libert to 85377. And by the way, I have a Google Voice number that is 773 Libert 1. I haven't, that will be the next iteration of the signs, is that it'll have that kind of that branding, but it does spell that out if you text that. But that's really the way that I've noticed that I'm getting a better ability to track things. So it's like when I just had my mobile business card on my signs, what was happening was, okay, is that someone that I met on the street? Is that someone that I attended an event at, or that is on my social media and sees my profile? No. Now with the My Smart sign, I want to be able to specifically target those folks, because that's property specific. They're either looking to buy or sell. They're interested in something. And reply message, same thing. You can change that out a bit. Here's a beautiful thing about that reply message. I no longer put any paper on my open house signs. I can't stand paper. We'll talk more about that later. I think that looks cheap. So now what I do is, if I'm in front of my open house, or if someone's even guest hosting the open house, you can put their information, a link to the website for the property, anything else like that in this real estate area. Maximize all your real estate. So if you want to play with that, it's instantaneous that can be done for you. So if you've got something special going on that day at a specific property, great. Say, have that property specific piece or link right here, just like we showed you with the mobile business card. And then also, it's still going to have the link to the full My Smart sign. Genius technology, and I missed half the boat on that for quite a while.
Well, and we've evolved, Nick, as we see the needs of the consumer and the ways that our exit associates can serve them. We previously had text exit to 85377. That's when we are dipping our toes into the mobile technology and connecting with consumers with their geolocation. So when initially, when people text exit to 85377, it would give the consumer access to exit listings. Well, that's great, but what if they want to know information on other listings in the neighborhood that are listed by other agents, whether it's independent, national, or international branch of the consumer? It doesn't matter. And we were not serving all of our consumers' needs. That's why we evolved with the My Smart Sign technology, giving the exit associates like yourself the ability to take your brand and, use that branding as your vanity name for your My Smart Sign technology. And consumers love it because when they text, look with Libert, and I'll do that right now. I'm going to just take away I'm going to show my screen because I want to show the attendees what this looks like. And we encourage you as an attendee to follow along and do this on your mobile device, because here's what it does. When you create a text message and you text to the number 85377, and your vanity name is Look with Libert. Now that's evolved over time, Nick. Why did you choose Look with Libert? I love it, but how did you come up with that?
What are you doing? You're looking at property. And so, list with Libert, look with Libert, those are my little hashtags I use. And those are some pages I use as well. So, over time, as this stuff comes through, I'm also starting to build out some drip campaigns for follow-up, and it's all just consistency as well. So it's Libert, Libert, Libert. You can't get rid of me.
No. And you want to create that recognition. You've spent some considerable time creating this branding, and you don't want to untangle that. So here's what happens when you text Look with Libert to 85377. Now I am right now in Mesa, Arizona. So this works beautifully in my neighborhood here in Mesa, Arizona as well, because utilizing this technology, I'm able to look at properties available for sale in my geolocation. And what we've done, and this is another evolution, and it was a recommendation by one of our exit associates, Josh Foster in Sulphur, Louisiana. So big shout out to Josh. And it's this call out, the thinking of selling. He said, hey, we need a bold statement. And if we could weave that into our list, we could show the consumer the available homes for sale. If we can include that bold, call out, that would really be great. We did that. So we encourage our associates, and Nick, you're really good about connecting with our leadership team, on the technology side and giving us your feedback, because you're in the streets and we want to make sure that we're providing great tools that will help you close more business. So here's an example. Consumers, they want two things. They want pictures and they want pricing. But the biggest difference for exit is that, look, you've got the pictures and pricing right here. And Nick's information is pinned at the top. There is no way for the consumer not to notice that they can connect with Nick at any time. And it connects them to his mobile business card right there up at the top. So home details, property description, property features, school information. Now we do have to show who's listing the property, but it's not clickable, you guys. And Nick's information is way bigger up there at the top. Points of interest, there's an interactive map. There's commute distance and time, transportation convenience score, market statistics, neighborhood homes. It does show the nearest EXIT Realty office, but we don't connect that. We don't tell that nearest EXIT office, but we do convey to the consumer that EXIT Realty is local. Okay. We also show similar nearby homes for sale, similar nearby home values, and understand this for all of our participants. Consumers do not like chasing agents for this information. So you're giving them way more in value than what they ever even asked for. So sharing this on everything, and I love your signs and how you've evolved over time, Nick. That's awesome. With your My Smart Sign. Now let's talk about the text code marketing panel, because this is all marketing strategies. So let me go back into the dashboard and let me give you the ability to be a presenter. Or do you want me to keep it here so that I can walk them through the text code?
I can do it.
Okay, sounds good. So let's make you a participant.
Right. Okay, guys, so this panel that we're going to see next is only for franchisees. But the franchisees, if you are not using these, you are missing out. So I have 4 offices. So you get 3 codes per office. I've used all 12. And what we do is we have a couple different fun things. In our office, we have an Eventbrite page. So if you text Exit Strategy Events to 85377, it'll take you right to this Eventbrite page. And we normally have 1 event at a time. We're not trying to overwhelm them. So it's like, okay, that's the event we were talking about, either in our social media post, etc. It's a static text code. So my agents know month after month, the event that we do that month, they've got this text code to use. And it's so much better than hyperlinks. Because what do we know about hyperlinks, guys? If I sent this hyperlink, same way with properties, stop sending hyperlinks in your social media because it gets shoved down to the bottom of the algorithm. And lead capture, text message marketing, there's lead capture. So we have an upcoming event with Junk Relief. So we're excited about that. We're doing a community recycling program on August 22nd. It's free, of course. They can register for that. But how they get there is they text Exit Strategy Events to the number 85377. You can see that's our upcoming event. We have 72 past really rich events and a variety of different content. And I do the same for agents once a month as well. So use those text codes. They are just absolutely genius. It of course has tracking over time. You can see those are our 2 big ones. And then we've got other ones that we're doing little stuff. You can change them out at any time. Corporate just needs to approve the change of the original name. Once you do that name, you can have that move to different hyperlinks or wherever you want at the touch of a button. So that was a big plus for us because I don't like hyperlinks. There's no lead capture. Social media doesn't like them. The agents have a hard time figuring out sometimes on how to make them click. And then also, for example, Instagram, you can't even use them. You know, you got to go to link in bio, and most people don't even know how to do that. So let's keep it easy. I love text codes for the brokerages as much as I love the text codes for the individual properties. If we're ready to go there.
Yeah, let's definitely. So don't forget, you know, just as we're going through this, you know, change out your signage. So if you've got signs out there that need to be replaced, get your My Smart Sign vanity code on all of your signs. And if you have already made the investment, get a sign writer because you don't want to limit your consumer. You want to make sure they have access to all, you know, you want to give them the access to the listings in the neighborhood for sure.
Absolutely. So do we want to go into another one of my favorites next?
Yes, let's go into, I think it's the Expert Marketing Suite.
All right, so we're going to go to the Expert Marketing Suite, and this is something that I'm very proud of, not only because the Exit Tech team is so amazing, it's because I actually asked for this. I went to every major brand asking if anyone else had it because I wanted it. And what it is in my market, by the way, here's some leads coming in, guys. How cool is that? In my market, what happens is that I have a lot of condos for sale. So do some of our agents. I have some beautiful single family homes that I've got just like a equipment list sheet, things that won't go in the MLS. I use Realtors Property Resource for some of my properties. And so what I find is I have so much stuff I want to attach, like a PDF or links to the property. And none of our competitors had the ability to attach PDFs to these microsites, because that's really what, when you text our Expert Marketing Suite individual property text codes, these are really basically microsites. And so these microsites with us, I asked them at corporate to be able to physically go in and do this. I'm going to actually search for my Commonwealth property.
So when an agent gets a listing and it gets entered into the MLS, EXIT Realty Corp International digitizes your listing, and we provide you a whole suite of marketing assets that you can use to market your property. So show them how you enhance this one, because it's really special.
This is what I just absolutely love this feature so much. So I asked our tech team, I said, could we figure out a way to, because they already had this technology internally. They had, so this is your main portal on each individual property. They get their own page, and you can see over here, it says market my listing. You've got a bunch of different options there, and you can see I've already got 10 leads in there because I've been using this text code everywhere to track directly to this property, because then I can create a drip campaign to follow up. I use it for my open houses. We'll talk about that in a second. But guys, look down here below. Documents and links. This is huge. So in this particular property, documents and links, I have the rules and regulations for the building. Maybe you've got a subdivision or a new construction development project with a bunch of different rules and regulations, bylaws and declarations, rental policy amendment, market research for that zip code. I've got a link to some other tools. I've got a audio tour, some other fun stuff. All of that comes together in this beautiful microsite that no one else has. So this microsite then, number one, when people text that code, I get their number, and then they get all this stuff that looks great on mobile. And this is the big thing. I use this in my listing presentation, guys. Exclusive property documents from Nick Libert. The people that come to my open houses or that see this online, even other agents, they're like, how did you get all that on there? That's so smart. I'm like, oh, that's an exit tool. So this is exclusive to us. Nobody else has this. I'm obsessed with it. And it is just amazing that you can sit there and look at this. You click on this and it'll pull up on your phone or on your desktop. It'll be ready to download for you. I've got market trends for the area, all different kinds of stuff that you can attach. So if you're not using Realtors Property Resource or whatever your local CMA tool is, all that stuff, just download it and upload it to the Expert Marketing Suite for that individual property. Because now also, by the way, so hopefully you guys can see me, you have a real reason to ditch the paper again for a couple different reasons. So this, I normally put this in a frame and then I take it around to the property for my open houses, or I leave it at the property if it's vacant or if my sellers will let me. And it says, got the EXIT logo, my logo. We are now paperless. All property photos, floor plans, 3D tours, school information, area market reports, etc. on this property can be found by texting E134-370 to 85377. As a matter of fact, guys, that property on here on Commonwealth, that's got plenty of leads. Go ahead and text this code. So text E134-370. Again, that's E134-370 to the number 85377. Do that now, and you will get a link to a beautiful single-family home that I just listed on Maplewood in Chicago. And in the documents and links, or what the public, you as the consumer, will see is that additional information that's custom from us, that exclusive property documents from Nick, or from you, of course. That's going to give them more information than anywhere else. I have agents asking how I'm doing it, neighbors going, well, I've never seen that before. Wow, these people leave that house with basically a book of information digitized right on their phone. I have their contact information now, and I have no sign-in sheet. So what do people do on an open house sign-in sheet? They lie. They lie. Yep. And so there's my beautiful property on Maplewood, and they don't lie on my open house sheets because I don't have them. I have a digital form right here, that digital text code, and then they get all this additional information. You know, look at this stuff underneath, guys. Elementary school information, neighborhood report, the MLS sheet. So for those of us that are, you know, we do like paper, you can print out one MLS sheet. But here's also what I do. I put in the agent remarks. For those of you with an MLS that has agent remarks, I'll say in the agent remarks, all the disclosures and all the information on this property, text this code to get them. Because then I also know agents are looking at my listing, and agents are also getting what? Our amazing technology that nobody else has.
So good. So good. So I mean, even these reports look beautiful. So I can download the report. I can pinch and zoom on my phone. That looks awesome, Nick.
Thank you. Thank you. And that beautiful report, by the way, is Realtors Property Resource, which I'm more than happy to teach a class on. I'm a certified trainer in that product. All of us in America, I know we have some Canadian friends on, all of us in America, as part of our National Association of Realtors dues, get access to a Realtors Property Resource. And I absolutely love the product. So one of those free 99, free up there that we're going to use to the max together.
Now, open houses, you have directional signs that you use.
Yes.
Do you have those? You have such a bag of tricks back there.
I got tricks. I mean, we got t-shirts, we got props. And so that I used it just to look with Libert. So it's going to pull up the information on that property and some other ones in the area. I don't have any paper, but when they get to the house, when they get inside, that's when the magic happens, because that's when they see that property. Because this is generic. I can use this over and over and over again. And guys, don't beat yourself up. If you got your digital business card or the exit, text exit 85377, that's fine. That stuff still works. But the next time you have a sign that gets beat up, or you see a sale from your favorite sign company, try one of these out. It is next level. So
awesome. Another thing that you use, Nick, is the digital presentations, which I'm going to pull up one from Sharon. I just logged into Sharon's test account. So I'm going to click on a presentation, a digital presentation. You should be able to see this. So like Nick Libert's Guide to Selling, we did this the other day. So you can actually create a digital presentation and you can share it with your consumer. I'm going to click on View Presentation so that our audience can see it. And of course, you just rotate your phone in landscape mode. They'll be able to skim through all the value that you're providing. But on the upper left-hand corner, there's a place where they can fill out a seller survey. Let's talk a little bit about that.
So that is a huge thing. So when EXIT came out with the digital buyer and seller guides, I was obsessed with them. Like many of the franchisees and agents, I was playing in Canva or paid a graphic designer to create something that didn't look anything like that stuff. You can still download these as PDFs if you like paper and print them out, but these are so beautiful. And on the buyer guide, they had a buyer survey, and I thought that was genius because that buyer survey then feeds right into your email. So I harassed everyone at corporate that I could find to do the seller survey. So if you don't like the seller survey questions, don't tell me, because some of those were my suggestions. I love the buyer and seller guides because number one, they're interactive. Number two, they have what? Lead capture. So if you are sending them to folks, you get their contact information because you're sending it, but you can also even create a generic one, and have it mass out there to everyone and just encourage them to fill out the buyer guide or the seller guide. And then you're getting information that makes your job so much easier because you know a lot more about them, what they're looking for, what their timeline is, what their needs and wants are. Are they getting financing? Do they need help with that? All of that great information is right in the digital buyer and seller guides. I have one kind of tweak to that though, is that because I'm saying, kind of like with the water bottle, if you're not tracking, you're slacking, I want to know who opened these things. And so if you send them from the EXIT Realty Connect app to a specific person, you're going to be able to see if that specific person opened it. There's going to be a little eyeball thing on there. And that eyeball emoji tells you, did they open it? So if you're blasting the mass ones out, you can't tell who's who. So I like those in a quick situation, but if I'm one-on-one with somebody or somebody inquires with me directly, what a great drip campaign to have the buyer guide or the seller guide. I teach a class called red light, yellow light, green light, and it's like if they can't even fill out that form for me or they don't look at that, that's getting a red light. At least a yellow or a heavy orange to me is that doesn't really, to me, tell me that they're serious. If they fill that form out, I know they're serious. And that's a really great litmus test. And also, again, it's showcasing our technology. There's also a beautiful agent guide, kind of like I call it the career guide. They say potential recruit, and that's got it up on the screen. I'll let you in a little secret. There may be some questions that I have formulated for that to have as well, because I just think these are so beautiful. And it's so interactive with people, and it's all branded to you. And again, if you're using the EXIT Realty Connect app, it's also available to lead track. So it's like, are these people looking at it? Are they serious? Are they, are they responding to the messages that I'm sending out? And again, it's all going back into your phone, into the resource center, a sponge of information versus what I call paper, which is spray and pray. Float.
That's true. Your notifications on the EXIT Realty Connect app will also show you who's engaging with your technology, and that's a great opportunity for you to pick up that phone, check in, and remind people that you're there as a resource. You're generating a ton of leads, Nick, so let's take some time and talk about your follow-up. What are some of your non-negotiables and your steps to success when it comes to following up with the leads that you're generating?
So, and this again is evolving over time. The beautiful thing is they're all coming right into the resource center. So number one thing that I do is I reach out to them Now there's technology for this. You know, if you've got a great CRM, it can feed into that CRM, and you can create a drip campaign so that based on what type of, maybe they're coming in as a business card, well, that's a more general inquiry. You can have items of value as a follow-up. If it's on a specific property, the My Smart sign, okay, well, I definitely want to send them what? A buyer guide, maybe even a seller guide if they're looking to sell. But those are kind of the baselines, and then they're going to go into my monthly newsletter, and they are absolutely going to go on my LinkedIn. Because here's why. Even if they aren't very responsive, like they texted the code, maybe they're just checking it out, whatnot. If you are on LinkedIn and they are on LinkedIn, here's the beautiful thing. The minute they connect with you on LinkedIn, they accept the connection, they are on LinkedIn giving information out, like depending on who the person is, they may have their birthday on there. Well, that should go in your CRM, right? They're going to have their cell phone number or their correct email address, because what do we know about LinkedIn? It's agnostic, I call it. It's not like Instagram where grandma can't figure it out, or Facebook where the grandson doesn't want to be on anymore because it's not cool. TikTok, I'm barely on it. I'm trying TikTok. But we know LinkedIn, people are either looking for jobs or career advancement, so their contact information is correct, or they are the people looking for more people to build their company and their business out. So either way, they have correct contact information, and a lot of it. And so Annette is actually the person that taught me 7 by 7. So 7 people to acknowledge by 7 a.m. You go into, Annette, am I sharing my screen or no?
I've got my screen, but I'm happy to give you the controls. Hang tight. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so, and by the way, guys, add me on LinkedIn and on Instagram. I'm very active on both. Here's what I don't love about Instagram, though. I share a lot of content on Instagram because it's fun, but it doesn't tell you people's birthdays. Facebook doesn't have, half the information it used to. Some people are off it. LinkedIn, everybody that's on it, by the way, click on My Network, and then in My Network, go to Celebrations. And Celebrations is going to give you everything going on in that network today. And so it is a great way to say, okay, guys, I need to do what? I need to do what Annette told me, 7 by 7. So I need to go in and figure out, okay, somebody had a new job, something great happened to this guy. What about birthdays? Okay, that's great. So look at all these people. This is my friend Brad. 15 years I've been here. These are some long miles on this stuff. Roger, if you're on today, or any of the agents at EXIT Realty Redefined, give Roger a hug for me and get him some cake. But these people, they deserve acknowledgement. And also, I do this as, again, a litmus test, a tracking device to say, is my contact information good for these folks? Is my contact information good for these folks? What am I missing? Do I have his birthday in my phone? Because my phone should be a sponge of information syncing to my CRM. Do I have additional contact information that I've discovered by clicking on their profile today and saying, oh, they have an email address up there. I didn't have their email address to send them my monthly newsletter, or a cell phone number. LinkedIn is a massive opportunity. So having that right away when you meet people, I have people that stop responding to stuff, they unsubscribe to my newsletter, but man, they're on LinkedIn, and I've gotten listings. My biggest listing sale in 2020 was someone that was listed with another agency, top agent in Chicago they were listed with actually, and they saw me posting about my open houses, and their agent didn't do open houses. They fired their agent, didn't even interview anyone else. They called me and I'm like, who are you? And they gave me the address. And I'm like, oh, I want to know you because I think that's gonna be a nice price point, over $1 million. And they said, our agent wouldn't do open houses. We saw you doing open houses. And I said, where did you see that? Did you come to one? You don't look familiar to me. I was nice about it. They said, no, my husband connected with you on LinkedIn. Wow.
Yes.
So people are watching, and you got to give them a good show, but you also have to be the one to initiate the connection, whether it's through the EXIT Realty Connect app to get their contact information, and then the follow-up. It's got to be a drip campaign. I call it a multi-channel campaign is what I coach on. So it's going to be sending them the digital business card if they don't already have it. That's a nice touch to people. Even if you've got all their, they know I'm a realtor, send them your digital business card.
Yeah.
Catch up with people. Happy birthday. Send them a little cute video and by the way, here's my contact information if you need anything. Whatever you want to do with folks, you just need to remember things like job changes, they need to be congratulated. That may mean they're in the move, in the market for something. You never know. And it's just a check-in. But it all starts with the original connection and then the follow-up over time. But systematically getting in touch with people, connecting with them on LinkedIn, the follow-up after you get those initial leads, needs to be almost immediate. But by the way, I do sometimes let things sit, in the resource center. Sometimes I'll sit there and I'm like, okay, I've got some leads to follow up on. I need to do something. Don't be afraid to apologize. Say, hey, you know what? You reached out a while ago. I'm catching up on some stuff, or I just wanted to check in. If you have a problem apologizing, just get some contact with people. Go back in, go in your main screen, and click on. If you don't have any leads up here under your name, which mine are about to pop up in a second, look at all this stuff.
Yeah.
Guess what? If you don't have any there, because you're not talking about your tools. You don't have the t-shirt, the license plate frame, the social media. None of this stuff costs much. Most of it costs nothing.
So good, Nick. I'd love to open up the floor to some questions, okay, because we're almost running out of time. So let's just take a quick, there was a question. One of our attendees wanted us to repeat the code. So it's Tracy. Tracy had asked if we could repeat the code. So I'm thinking, Tracy, that you're probably thinking about one of the text codes for the property, the specific property. So yeah, so that was E as an exit. 128922 was one of them, but then there was that one, Nick. That was E what?
34370. E134370.
Yes, so good. And if you're curious, another question was, where do you put that information? It's in the expert marketing suite. All the additional details about the property that your sellers expect, right? And buyers really appreciate that they don't have to ask for additional information. So good. There was also another question. How do you stay updated with the latest real estate technology, Nick?
So a couple different things. Number one, I listen to people like Annette. Another thing that I slept on, for those of you that are franchisees out there, I slept on some of the upgrades to the resource center. And I had a separate app for messaging. I had a separate this for that. I had all these different things my agents had to go to. And so, listen to Annette, listen to your engagement leaders. Marky Lemons-Rial is a great person to learn about technology from. She's always sharing. Connect with her on social media. I don't do a huge amount of research at the local level, except from top producers. I want to look at what top producers are doing or not doing. And so that's what I always try to do, is I try to look at what people that are really at the top of their game are doing, not getting stuck in the weeds with, it's a really slow market, interest rates are down. You can sit at the office by the water cooler and get nothing done, or you can go look at what the people at the top are doing. And that's get a designation, connect with those people that have the designations and that are also doing a lot with them. And you'll see some of them are really doing some beautiful things on social media, etc. But we've got so much talent right here in EXIT. And that's why definitely please connect with me on Instagram, LinkedIn, my YouTube channel, because I really love to share, because we have stuff that nobody else has and you just need to use it. And so my mission internally is to use it all to the max and turn around and share it to you guys, because we have a real opportunity as a company to grow. And I feel like we are one of the most underappreciated companies out there. We should be 10 times the size we are, and we just don't share our tools enough. And consistency is the name of the game. You guys see me on my morning runs. It probably drives some of you nuts. You want me to put a shirt back on? Maybe I will today. It's consistency. It's over and over and over. That's the reason my office has grown to the extent it has. And we've given away almost $5 million, or we generated almost $5 million in residual bonuses for EXIT Realty associates since we opened just our office. Look at what we've done at the international level with the charity, with the all the different beautiful things that have changed lives. We have an opportunity, and these tools are the gateway to get more people, consumers and agents alike, in front of EXIT Realty as a brand.
So good. You know, you gave so much of your time, Nick, and the attendees too. We're recording this session, so you can always go back and you can listen in on, you know, the different areas. But I also want to give you some free resources before we let you go. So definitely connect with us at EXIT Realty Corp International on social media. Also remember that our monthly Techinars, which is a webinar about tech, it occurs every fourth Wednesday at noon Eastern Standard Time. So be sure that you connect with us on social so that you'll get that next invite about the next Techinar. Also, Exit TV, when you text that to 85377, go to our channel. We've got our technology training for real estate professionals. It's open to everyone because we believe in being part of the solution. Don't forget to subscribe to Nick's YouTube channel at Nick Libert. Everywhere you'll be able to connect and follow. And don't forget to text Libert to 85377. And you can find them on Instagram, LinkedIn especially. Make sure that you definitely connect. Some of the things that you were speaking about throughout your presentation, I want to make sure that the audience has a quick moment to pause and maybe take a final snapshot. But things to implement that you spoke about, Nick, today was about making sure that when you want to learn something, put it on your Google Calendar so that you will make time to learn that one item. Also creating tasks in Google. Your Google Calendar is so important. You always have an insatiable appetite to learn new things, Nick. So I encourage everyone to have that hunger so that you could learn new things as well. And one thing that we didn't mention, but we did in our huddle, is that you spoke about the importance of getting designations. That added education will definitely grow. You're going to learn from other people, which again, you want to be observant of what are champions doing, because there's a lot of lessons that they're dropping, and it's on to each of us to pick up those pieces and implement them in our business. And then, of course, what you learn, you should commit to teaching it to others. That's how we all grow. And then what you do very well with us, Nick, is you share your feedback with us at Exit. And we encourage all of our Exit associates to do that. And in fact, we have a great email. It's techideas@exitrrealty.com. If you've got a great idea, please share it. If you have perhaps an experience with one of our existing tools or resources and you're like, you know, if it only did this, it would really take it to the next level. We want to hear from you. And a lot of what you've done, Nick, in the past, you've shared so many conversations with our tech team. We value your opinion. We believe that you are an expert in the subject matter because you use it, you teach it, you talk about it consistently, and we're so grateful for that. So for all of you, thank you so much for joining us today. Nick, we can't say thank you enough. We're so grateful for your leadership, and we're so proud of all that you've done and how you've grown as an individual and as a professional.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. And 15 years in, I love this company and all of you more than ever, and I can't wait for the next 15. We have a huge opportunity to grow, and it just takes one to change your life. So looking forward to helping people do that.
Thank you, Nick. We're so honored to serve you. For everyone else on the call today, thank you so much for being with us. We apologize for going a little over, but we don't apologize for all the tips that we shared today. Nick, thank you so much. Your props were on point. And that shirt, come on. One more? Come on, give us one more. So good. Thank you, everyone. Make it a great rest of your day. Take care.